Alright guys, so we're here back at Inside the Artist. Today we're at the Zebra Club clothing store just off First Avenue in Seattle. Make sure you guys go and check them out. They got some really nice clothes. But today we are interviewing Devin from DNW Productions. How are you doing, Devin? How's your day going?
It's been good.
Alright, that's good. So to start out with, why don't you just tell us a little bit about you and who you are?
Well, my name is DNW. I produce and engineer. That's pretty much it.
So, first question, how long have you been producing and engineering?
So, I started making beats before I started engineering, but I've been doing it for about 4 years, professionally for about 2 years now.
All right. So not too long, but you have dipped your foot into the process.
Yeah.
All right. So as a producer, what would you say, or like an engineer, what would you say is your favorite piece of equipment? Why is that?
I love to use my Akai MPC 2500 along with my Akai 49 key. It's an MPK, pretty much a MIDI keyboard that just goes directly into like a digital software program.
All right.
You can use Logic. I use Logic and Reason, but a lot of people have been using Ableton. There's so many that you can use.
I'm sure you've got a process that you like to go through when you're making your music. Can you tell us a little bit like of what goes into that process when you're trying to make a beat or trying to master the right sound on a track?
Well, every time I feel it can be different. Just kind of depending on how I feel at the time, depending on maybe what I'm going through. But I generally just stick with a piano, and then I just go from there. I'll make a melody off the piano, and go through different instruments and just kind of feel what I'm feeling at the time. If I want it to be more dark or if I want it to be more light, I just kind of choose instruments off that.
So you start your bass layer is a piano.
As a piano, yeah.
And then you essentially just cycle through instruments to try to figure out what's going to match.
Yeah, to that melody, and it's all done originally. I usually don't start with a sample or anything. Another piece that I can do is people can tell me a color, I can make a beat off of that, like if they want something more like yellow and red. Kind of gives me a good idea
of the mood that they're trying to go for the song.
Exactly. Or if they want something more dark or gray, black, kind of thing, I can make a beat off that also.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. So since you are a producer, you've obviously worked with some artists. Who are some artists that you've produced tracks for?
Well, my very first artist I ever produced for was Dizzy Wright. I produced for him through a person I was working with. I leased him the beat, and this eventually got down to him, and he ended up getting featured on the song. That was about, I want to say, about a year ago. It was about last year.
So it was about the time you actually started officially producing.
Definitely. Yeah.
So that had to be crazy, like being able to hear Dizzy Wright on a track that you made. What was that like?
It was a shocking experience just because I didn't. He kept it a secret for a really long time, and he just told me, he's like, oh, you'll hear it, and then eventually when it dropped, he sent me the email, and I got to hear it, and I was like really impressed with it. I was really shocked that he actually got on it. It sounded great. Also, there's some artists from Bremerton I've been working with, just the island across the water there. His name's Ian Kane. Me and him are actually working on a project right now.
All right.
He hasn't released nothing yet, so this is going to be kind of his debut project. He's doing like an 8-track mixtape that we're doing. He's very talented. I can't even really compare him to anybody, but he has a really aggressive flow.
Unique artist.
Yeah, very unique. It has an aggressive flow, but then he also sings, so he's got a unique style.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites most recently.
Sounds like he could really make it up. You too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So, what would you say is your favorite kind of beat?
I love making like mystic, railroad type hip hop soul beats. I love using the tempo of about anywhere between 98 to 140. And it's really cool. You take a tempo of 140 and that's really fast. But you can you hand me a water?
Oh, sorry.
Can you just throw it to me? But yeah, like taking a tempo of like 140, but making it sound like it's like 96. You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. So it's like it's a a different kind of process. But it sound a lot of people are like, oh, well, what tempo is this? 110 or
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's actually 140, but it just just to make it sound
with the mix of everything.
yeah, with the mix of all the instruments, making it sound mystic and hazy, but added with a little soul and hip hop, and a little touch of trap, I'd say. Yeah.
Most definitely. So, have you had any recent collaborations?
Yeah, I definitely. Me and BYP are actually working on some stuff. I have some stuff working with Gifted Gab. She's a local here in Seattle. I definitely plan on doing stuff with King Lee's. He's another local out here. He's doing really good things. So be able to look up for him. But yeah, I'm definitely those three. Also, I did a collab with Major League Boutique. I produced their lookbook, and I did their video lookbook also.
Yeah.
Produced the beat. That came out great. We had a big listening party for my beat tape, Volume 2, and also so it's also the whole lookbook presentation. So it was just like everything all at once, and it turned out to be a very great event. About like 50 people showed up to his store, and it was a great turnout. We still have people telling us we need to do another one like that. So
We need to have another party
exactly,
like that.
yeah. We I did some freestyle and PC stuff on for a cipher. We had that during the day, and then we just kind of built up, and then we did the whole video presentation and the presentation of my beats.
So
and
it
stuff.
was essentially like a whole day was made out of it.
Yeah, definitely, and also definitely to say be on the lookout for the Kelowna-Palooza event coming up at Easton, Washington. Me and BYP are doing a headlining set.
All right.
So he's going to be coming out from DC and doing that, and I'm going to be DJing a set. We're going to be along with the drummer, so that's actually going to be a really cool.
That sounds like it'll be pretty epic, man.
Yeah, so it's going to be like a total with the DJ setup, the drummer, and then BYP on the mic. It's just going to be awesome. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that sounds insane. So, having done the collaboration with major label, do you see yourself going anywhere in passing?
I definitely do, maybe down the road. Not so much now. I just really want to focus on my production and learning more about the engineering side of music and learning more about different frequencies and how I can implement that in my music. And pretty much just focusing on my production. I definitely have an eye for the fashion, a way of styling, and I definitely bring people together, I've noticed. But I definitely want to focus on my music now, and I feel like that's just going to come along with it, just naturally.
So the fashion piece is just gonna organically find its way.
blend itself right in.
You're not gonna try to go seek it out.
Exactly.
It's something that you're gonna try to wait for.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, being a producer, you must have a studio that you work at. Is it a home studio or?
Well, I actually have a home studio down on 2nd Yesler, but I work in a studio in Chinatown. It's called BOC, Balance and Concept Studio. It's been established there for quite some time. The producer, my mentor, has been doing it for 20 plus years. Yeah, he's very, very skilled. I've been working with him the past year and a half, and been kind of employed with him for the past years, just working in the studio, and I just absorb as much as I can. Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing thing working with him. He's taught me so much about different stuff about the engineering side and also the technical side about just how everything works. It's been definitely a good experience. So.
All right, so is the studio close by?
Yeah, it actually is close by. It's about a 10-minute walk down 3rd Avenue. I definitely want to take you there and show you around and just we get a feel and maybe do some shooting.
That would be awesome, man. That would be crazy cool if we could do that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so we can just head over there whenever you want.
All right, sounds good, man. Sounds good. guys, so here we are at the lobby of the BOC. And we're still here with DNW. So now, DNW, who would you say has been your mentor over the years?
I would say Intellect. He's off to the side, we can introduce him later, but yeah, Intellect's been my mentor for the past, I'd say year and a half or so, and yeah, he's definitely taught me a lot. Just, he's been doing it for over 20 years, so just to be around that, be around everything that that goes on in the studio has been a blessing.
So would you say that each time you have a studio session with him, you're always learning something new?
Yeah, I would say every single time I'm here, even when we go down there right now, I'm going to be learning something new. Whether he's working with, another artist, like I'll be, kind of shadowing him, looking at what he's doing, learning different things about, multi-band compressors or different, just different certain things that have to do with this making the sound quality better, or, certain techniques of setting studios up, or, just anything and everything that has to do with the music. Even when it comes to the tech side, he taught me so much about that I didn't even learn by reading big old books that I check out at the library. So just having that hands-on experience and being able to learn how to solder things and being able to learn how to do that hands-on observing has really helped me out a lot. And being able to observe it also and seeing making mistakes also, it kind of it's like a learning process.
You're learning not only from your own, but other mistakes that other people make.
Exactly, yeah, and you can say, okay, well, we talked like a while back. We talked about like peaking, or like just certain things that really affect speakers in a way, and how you just want to have a smooth flow, from the speaker to the person, and how to do that, and how to use the frequencies to do that, and because if you're if everything's in the red, so to speak, then you're going to be blowing speakers, you're going to be, messing your equipment up, you're going to be setting yourself back when you could easily, not have that happen and save yourself from a lot of extra money you have to spend, or, stuff like that. So yeah, it's been nice.
Definitely. So how long have you actually been using the Balance of Concept studio?
I would say I've been working with them solidly for the past year, but I think we've met about a year and a half ago. We have a mutual friend that works with him, and then I really got solid about a year ago. We've been, he's just been inviting me in, to sessions, to different things, just to learn and observe and just soak everything in.
So he's basically made you his apprentice, you would say?
I would say, yeah, and I definitely look at him as a mentor and a person that I would always, look up to or ask for advice, in the future.
Yeah, most definitely. And I've had my video mentor throughout the years too, for me. So I definitely can see that.
That's awesome.
So how long have you known that being behind a soundboard, playing an instrument, how long have you known that that's where you feel at home, like where you're meant to be?
Well, it's funny because ever since I was a child, I used Acid Music was the very first program that I ever really started dabbling with, even loops and stuff. I was just kind of putting loops together and stuff. But it was just always fun to me. It made me happy, And I even had a PS3 or a PS2 game where you just throw together loops and stuff. So it was always a thing that I liked to do. And then I never really took it serious. I just kind of did it for fun. But until one day I woke up and kind of had an aha moment. I just woke up and was just oh, this is what I'm gonna do. This is, and ever since that day, I've been set on that. And every time I'm behind a keyboard or anytime I'm doing that stuff, I feel at home, whether that's even in my home studio or at BOC, or I definitely feel at home best, I guess, when the people are just real too around me. Yeah. But that mixed with the music is just the perfect equation, for me to be feeling at home.
Most definitely. Music. Now, so I know you been producing for 4 years, but more officially now for 2. So did you go to school to learn about it, or is it just kind of a thing that you got invited one day into a studio and it's something you picked up on right away?
Originally I haven't been schooling yet, but it is a plan. I plan on moving to LA, and then I'm gonna finish up school in New York, out there. But as of right now, I've just done all like hands-on experience, pretty much learning from mistakes I've made, learning, just from working in the studio and like, getting pieces of equipment, just trying to hook them together and learning off books. I went to the library in Spokane and checked out every single book that was on music technology or music, everything. And they're a little outdated, but you could still kind of use the concepts from that. But I was so interested and I couldn't get in schooling at the time because I was going to move to Seattle. I just read every book. I was just trying to teach myself as much as I could. And I actually use Pro Tools, so every program that I've got has been industry standard. So I've always started off with a really good program.
So from the beginning, you basically were off on the right foot.
Exactly, yeah. And I feel like when I do start finishing up school, it's definitely going to expand and definitely going to help me out a lot. And since I already know like the basis of a lot of things, that's just going to lead to greater things at the school.
Definitely. All right, so here on the show, we like our viewers to walk away with something, not only a peek into who you are and what makes you tick and how you make a beat and where you make a beat and all that, but we like them to take something away from the show. So if you could give them one piece of advice on whatever it is that they want to be, what would you tell them?
I would say no matter what you want to do, just work hard at it. Like, it's a simple equation, like with time and dedication will equal success. And I heard that when I very first started, producing and doing this, and it just made sense to me. So what I would say is just put in the time, put in the work, and there's no other way to go in whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter if you're doing film or fashion or music, whatever. Just work hard at it. Dedicate yourself, and you also have to sacrifice some things also to get where you want to go. So I would say do that, and no other way to go but up.
So if you could sum it up in what it takes to achieve your dream, what are 5 things you would say?
I would say, well, obviously, time and dedication, sacrifice. You want to travel and gain experiences. That's 5 just off top. But
there's so much that it takes. It's one of those things you really gotta believe in.
Yeah, you just have to believe in yourself also, and really believe that you can do it. And I really think that if you can see yourself doing it, then you're headed in the right direction.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
and guys, make sure you are subscribed and you like and comment on this video of either who I should do next or people you think I should look at, or even questions for Devin here.
DNW Originals Instagram, by the way.
All right, and one more thing, be sure and stay tuned for more behind the scenes of the studio and the interview.